Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. This is just general share advice and not personal advice. I'm not really on the beach. I just wish I was on the beach. But
Will be soon.
what? I don't know. I don't think so, Wolf. I'm too busy. But obviously, general share advice, not personal advice. Wolf,
Yes.
let's talk about some good news today.
Yes. Start with the
Good.
garlic because I love my garlic.
So, garlic
Mhm.
keeps away, gets rid of vampires.
Mhm.
We know that, right?
I haven't seen a vampire in my household for a long time, I have to say, and because I eat garlic almost on a daily basis.
But now they're saying that there's a company
Mhm.
in Mildura, Australia,
Mhm.
trust the Aussies, that have got a potent form of garlic that has a 99.9% efficiency against viruses which cause COVID-19 and the common flu.
Eureka.
How good is that?
I know. I mean, we answers all around us, isn't it? We just never know the actual questions, and there's your answer right there, right in front of us.
Bloody garlic, right? That's all we
Oh,
need. That's but anyway, it's interesting and good on. I think the institute is the Dirty Institute.
yeah.
They looked at something like 18 or 19 different forms of garlic,
Yep.
and there's a potent one from Mildura.
Yeah.
Um, and I think I did look at it the other night. I think Coles get their garlic from Mildura.
Do they?
Now
I
I haven't
forget.
been, and I
You know
haven't been.
what, though? Forget about you paying me peanuts and giving me millions. I'm going to make millions growing my own garlic and selling it to the red teeth populace here.
So anyway, this is great. So maybe if anyone's feeling a bit down,
Mm,
uh, got a bit of got a bit of got a bit of COVID or flu, obviously don't forget about your garlic. It seems very, very good.
exactly. Oh, look,
Um,
it's nice to see. It's a
yeah,
common thing. It's right in front of you. Eat a lot of garlic. And the thing is that, Dave, I understand why I live alone. Not in an office. It's probably garlic bread.
and also, well, it helps social distancing as well, doesn't it?
Exactly. So maybe that's the reason why this works so well.
All right, say no more. All right, Wolfie. So there isn't much news today, but there are some companies that did put out some announcements.
Mm-hmm.
LGL Lynch Group, flowers,
Yes.
selling flowers to
Yes.
China.
Yes, I know. Isn't it amazing, right? I've never heard of this company. Never know there's actually a company listed with selling flowers or petals and associated things.
Mm.
But there is called Lynch Group. And today's update is actually an upgrade by the looks of things on the EBITDA side. And that's because of China, because China is going quite well. So full year FY23 group EBITDA range updated to 42 to 43 million. Previous guidance 36 to 40 million. So, let's call it a 10% upgrade. That's quite nice, right?
So obviously flowers doing very, very well. Maybe lots of funerals because of the people dying off that COVID vaccine.
I have to say, I don't know exactly what those flowers are actually what they use it for. I'm just quickly read through it. So I maybe just need to have a bit more of it. This could be an interesting little, trading stock for us because now it looks decent on the chart, doesn't it?
Yeah. What are we playing? Excess deaths again. All right.
No, it was Mother's Day day. Come on, don't jump straight to the negatives. The positive. Mother's Day was, we just had it. Probably had a big jump in sales. I mean, I bought some flowers during that time.
All right, say no more. Okay, now, DVP.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad looking chart. Wolf, what, they're in a trading halt. What's happened here?
I have to see that trading halt. I don't even know. I haven't quite got around to seeing it yet. But there's two things. So today, I think they've updated positively on the back of this had some resources that were considered. It is technical, but you've got fresh rock and you've got ground that maybe is classified a little slightly differently, which means that if you are going to be mining it, the resources are classified a little bit differently, right? So from that point, I'm not going to be too technical about it, but it's a positive announcement where they can reclassify some of these resources. Okay, it's not a big thing, but the other thing as I noticed is that they've had some drilling results. pretty positive, right? So they're still progressing these Sulphur Springs. So this is a mine that can potentially be developed again together with Woodlawn. So there's going to be 2 mines. But there's a third mine they've actually have a stake in, and that's called Wind Creek, which is Annex, which they've got 30% in. And that's getting close to production as well. So this is starting to become more and more interesting by the month, right? So I think if you've got a long-term view, you're backing Bill Beament, you're backing that they're going to have some cash flows from these mines, plus their mining services. Very unique company. I really like it, Dave. I think this is going to be one for the long-termers out there.
All right, and certainly Bill Beament is yeah, what a track record that guy's got.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, God amongst the fraternity in the commodity space, really.
AGY Wolfie getting into production, but it's not really trending. But congratulations to that company, well done. But we're not buying you.
no, for the moment. But at least if it becomes a producer, like a commercial producer, making some money, we're definitely going to treat it very
definitely
like AKE, right? So we've got to have to put it on our watch list.
If it's 100%, if it starts to trend, we're going to be a lot more interested. Wolfie, we had a few upgrades, so maybe have a look at this for us. You've got, for example, AD8. I think target price about $10 from one of the major brokers. Funny enough, it hit $10 and down it goes again. It's a little bit. We did call that actually on Ask the Analyst on Friday. I did say that was most probably going to happen. IGL, again, dividend play. So for obviously if you're trending, you're out. But I think this gets back over trend, you'd be getting back in. But as a dividend play, still holding the monthly and really interesting target price around $3.30, Wolf. From I have to get this maybe just get this up here. Read it to you, or maybe you could read it. I don't know. You're quicker on the draw than me, Wolf. Let me find IGL. Here we go.
I'm reading the next story for you, Dave, because I'm preparing myself for a nice little trend that maybe you're going to put on today.
Well, I'm sure I am. If you picked a good one, let me have a look. IGL. Here we go. Right. Okay. So, Bell Potter. I've got a pretty strong target price on this one, around this sort of just above this $3. And the reason they have, Wolf, is keep talking. Okay, it's been caught in a recent sell-off with the retailers of soft trading updates, along with concerns of reduced consumer spending. So they think this is a bit of the baby being thrown out with the bathwater. While concerns may be understandable, the broker believes the company will not be overly affected by any weakness in consumer sentiment and or advertising, given its dominant market position. Now, you often talk about companies having a dominant position in the market.
And I like that. Yep.
Diversity and the integration of Avato, right? Avato. Bell Potter retains a buy rating and a $3 target price. Okay, so target price is $3. So a decent dividend and a decent target price. If you're in it for that with that dividend, I think it's certainly a hold.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think there's anything from the company that we've seen you would make you sell, unless, like you said, unless you're trending because it's dropped below that blue line, you're out on a weekly, right? But if you're holding for the dividend, very different story. Nothing to worry about at this stage. So you're definitely holding still, and possibly if they can reiterate their guidance in the next month or so, I think that's probably going to bounce back over that blue line again, and you can start trending it again.
I mean, interesting. Morgan's got PPE list now. Look at that price action. That looks like it's going back down to $2, and it looks absolutely terrible. But Morgan's, they've reduced their target price from like just under $5 to $4, but they're still holding a high target price for this stock. Yeah. But I don't know. I'll be staying well away from it. Well.
The sentiment's much stronger than any broker, right? And the sentiment right now for all these players, so APM, PPE is down because they are afraid there's going to be a recession. If there's a recession in Australia, then obviously unemployment's going to go up. These companies will suffer. So that's the sentiment right now. You wouldn't be in it.
And again, another stock that's really got no sentiment in is a little CIA. Yeah, it looks like it's, and that candle looks really weak and definitely looking like it's at least going back down to that 490 level. But again, broker target prices 7 and 8, because of the production expansion they're having on Bloom Lake, which looks very, very good. The trouble is, it doesn't matter, like we talked about, if iron ore price it's at 100, if it goes below 100 or keeps going down, it doesn't matter how many
tons they produce.
Yeah. So, yeah, and again,
unfortunately, the thing that they cannot control, and that is the price of iron ore. It's goods, right? That's on a weak, pretty much recovery from China post-COVID, right? That's what's affecting all these iron ore players and iron ore prices. So I think you're right. It's going back to $5. And probably the only way they can arrest this is price of iron ore stabilizes, and maybe they can show some stabilization in costs, input costs, because that's the issue as well.
Look at how CTM saves us every time. That's crazy.
Yeah,
now let's be a little bit more positive. Let's end on 3 or 4 stories which do look and have got broker upgrades. QB is one of those, and we talked about insurance being a reasonably good place to be at the moment. And UBS have got a buy with a pretty aggressive $18 target price. What they're saying is that UBS expects the market will take a while to absorb the implications of QB's insurance adoption of the new global insurance accounting standards, AASB 17. Importantly, financial impacts should not be material, and the broker makes no changes to its forecast at this time. So they're pretty bullish of the story. And again, it's if you're holding it, if you're in this, you're holding it. It's trending beautifully. It's above the trend line.
It's in the right environment, right? And with QBE, if we talked about this earlier, if we get a scenario where we're going to have higher interest rates for longer, which we think is going to happen, right? This is an ideal environment for QBE. Hence, this could be a multi-year type trend.
Yeah, definitely. It does look good. And you can see there's a number, I think, other stories with it. PSI was looking pretty good the other day on the charts.
Yeah. So definitely, look at okay, let's look at QB for the last 10 years before this interest rate rises, right? I just want to give you that big picture look through why we could have now the good times for QBE, right? Because we've had pretty much the bad times for QBE for a long time. Look at that. So from 2011, it's been going down to sideways, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much for 10 years, 12 years even. Now we've broken up above that, and we now possibly could have higher interest rates for much longer. So, this could get back to $20-25 over the next 5 years. This is why when you get onto this trend, you hold on to it.
What's interesting, Wolf? Look, just before COVID, they were starting to go again, weren't they? And I think COVID just delayed the natural cycle, didn't it, for 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, it was just one of those just weird times anyway, right? For COVID was just a really anomaly, threw a lot of things out of kilt.
All right, another one, Wolfie, which again, it's looked good on the charts, is little Worley. Now there's your monthly, which looks
bloody good,
very, very good, right? And sorry, I don't know what that one is. And there's your weekly, which has actually been trending quite nicely. Good looking chart, Wolf. And they're talking about great acceptance of reimbursable LNG delivery models could open up a new market for Worley, believes UBS.
Yep.
Right. So what do they mean by all that?
I think what they're saying is that they've got a pretty bright future ahead of them. That's what they say in a nutshell. And if you look at Worley as on a big picture type scenario, again, it is one of the best at what it does, and that is helping with the development of oil fields and now moving into the renewables with solar and wind energy type stuff. This is probably a player to definitely trend, with the trends.
Well, I know that has been a play. You talked about this a year ago.
Yep, I did.
And a little bit maybe. Well, no, you may be right, Wolf. I mean, and since then, actually,
yes,
it has been a different story.
Playing out, like we said, right? It's playing out like we said it will.
Now I just want to have a look at uranium.
Yep, and this is the buy for today, Dave. I'm putting my neck on the line, And I tell you what, it's the commentary here coming from Trading Economics. So click on that, right? So the chart obviously is starting to break out.
Yeah.
On uranium, but read out that actual uranium commentary there, because that's the key here. Why it's breaking out, why it could go higher.
Uranium. Do you want me to read it, or do you want to read it? Yeah.
I'll read it out then. Uranium
Yeah,
prices soared to 54.6 per pound, right, in late May. The highest in over 1 year. This is obviously quite bullish. Now, amid threats of lower supply, persistent bets of bullish long-term demand, 2 bills to ban the import of Russian uranium were approved. That's a big thing, right? By US governments, jeopardizing inputs from one of the top producers of nuclear fuel. Additionally, major uranium producer in Namibia, we talked about that just before we went online, signaled it will push to nationalize its natural resources. A big producer of uranium is Namibia, right? Signed it will push to nationalize its resources, may lead to lower supply from the world's third largest producer. I mean, that's pretty significant. Meanwhile, a report from the EIA showed that the US produced 2,500 pounds of U3O8 in the first quarter of 2023, a 75% year-on-year. In other words, production is pretty crappy, right? They need to start producing somewhere. So overall, you read all that, that's all very positive for uranium. So, you know, am I a bull of uranium? No, but I think there's going to be a spike. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
so
right.
get on BOE. I think BOE is the one that's you're going to be playing.
All right. So, okay. Well, it's not the most beautiful chart, is it?
It will be.
All right, we'll go with you, Wolf. All right, we're gonna go with this. We're actually not. We're trusting more in you than the chart, because the chart.
Yeah, look, just look at the fundamentals at the moment. Like short-term fundamentals are pretty strong, right? So you look at what's my favorite story in this space? BOE. Let's go with it. Let's see how we go, right? I mean, it's almost trending. I mean, it's above trend. Once it breaks over $3, it could go for a pretty bit of a gallop. So let's go. Maybe a week or two early, but you've got a nice setup here for me.
All right, let's do it. So
and the beautiful thing is that every other commodity is crap except uranium. At least we've got that thing going for us. Where are the farmers going to go? Hopefully here.
All right. Well, this is interesting. So BOE, and this is your preferred. It's obviously a high risk, right?
Yeah.
We're going to put it as a trade. It is a small cap.
Yep.
It's going to be a buy under 2.85. We're going to target 340.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're going to target 3.40, and your stop loss 259. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, and the beautiful thing is, right, it's tried that go last probably year or so. It tried to get through that 280 before, but the price is only $50 uranium. Right now it's 54, so another 10% up. So I think now the momentum is a bit more stronger, and maybe that's the time to have a look at this. You like this daily?
Yeah, you definitely. I think we could do a stop loss on the daily, Wolf, because
let's go.
There is risk on
255 or something.
Yeah, 259. So it's not a huge fall, but the upside, and I think that target price initially at 340. Now, if you're right about this, we can lift it if once we hit it, right?
Yeah. Let's have a bit of fun. I mean, nothing else is trending in this space. Well, in the commodity space, really, when you think about it. But uranium is. So that's like I said, we've got sort of concentration of maybe FOMOs moving to something that is trending.
Okay. Right. All right, Wolf, on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll be with you at 12 o'clock.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
see you, mate.
Bye.
Bye.